Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Happy New Year. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes. I should say happy day after New Year. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, Long Island's largest rock salt source. And for all the great snow, ice, and melt products like Mag, ice pellets and flakes, and Pelledo. And in case you're still looking for new snow blowers, de-icing fluid, any other supplies you might need to get you through any winter storms we get, if we get any. You can get them at Omni. 631-756-1125 is the phone number. The website is omnitruevalue.com. Not a whole lot going on today, and we're going to start off with the U.S. satellite loop as we take a look at that. And really, not too bad. Some clouds are starting to roll in now from the west, and you see there's a lot of cloud cover covering much of the country today, going all the way back to this rotation that you see in the western part of the U.S., and that is drawing up tropical moisture into Texas and the central Gulf states. That has opened the door to the possibility of some severe weather there. In the Northeast on the radar, actually starting to see a little bit of precip here across southern Pennsylvania, some scattered light showers that are moving eastward. The rest of the radars are pretty quiet in the Northeast. The active day today is going to be in East Texas to southern Arkansas and into Mississippi. You can see that little yellow box that pops up at 1:15 Eastern Time, showing a severe thunderstorm warning that has been posted in that part of the country. And the Storm Prediction Center is got an enhanced risk of severe weather covering much of northeast Texas, northwest Louisiana, and the whole state of Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, and a small portion of western Tennessee. And that enhanced risk represents a 5 to 10% tornado risk for late today and into tonight. I just want to go back to the radar and show that it's been raining pretty much every other day for the last 10 days in California, and we have another surge of rain that is moving in up and down the entire state with some heavy rain moving into the northwestern corner of California, and the pattern favors them to continue to get quite a bit of liquid precip here. And it's more rain than anything else, except in the Sierra Nevadas, where it is snow to an extent. We are seeing forecasts of 5 to 10 inches of additional rain to fall over the next 7 days. Meanwhile, in the Gulf states and in the Tennessee Valley, with the severe weather today, we're looking at rainfall amounts over the next 7, anywhere from a half an inch in the dark blue to 2 inches plus in the bright red. In the northeast and northern mid-Atlantic states, it ranges from as little as a quarter of an inch down into Virginia to a half to three-quarters of an inch, except for the northern half of Maine, where the precip tails off just a bit there. And with regards to snow, because we do have some snow going on in the plains and extending up into the western Great Lakes, you can see there's a large probability here in the dark red in the next 72 hours of at least a couple of inches. Nothing much except for northwestern Maine, where we have a 50% probability of at least 2 inches there. And as we look at the watches and warnings, we've got winter storm warnings up for parts of western Colorado, northeastern Utah, much of southeastern Wyoming, a good chunk of Nebraska into South Dakota and Minnesota, and ice storm warnings in the purple from northeast Nebraska into southern Minnesota. Flash flood watches up from southern Illinois and southernmost Indiana southwestward into northwestern Arizona, Louisiana, I should say, northwestern Louisiana, and northeast Texas. But in the east, it's pretty quiet. We don't have any warnings or watches to worry about, and I think that's going to generally be the case for the upcoming week. So there's no real change in this weather pattern that we're in. Storm coming out of Kansas, moving northeastward, peaking in intensity in the next 24 hours. We're going to have a warm front move into the east with some rain, mainly from central New Jersey and southern Pennsylvania northward, it looks like, on up into New York State and into southern New England. That warm front's going to go by, and Wednesday, as we wait for a cold front to move on through, Wednesday could be the warmest day of the week, and we might even see some record highs as temperatures will be up in many areas in the middle and possibly even the upper 60s, depending on whether the sun can break through. Then we'll get showers Wednesday night into early Thursday. That front goes by. It starts to chill off as we move through Thursday and Friday. There's only a minimal amount of cold air that comes into the Northeast, and even though we'll probably see a wave develop on Friday just off the coast, it looks like it's going to be mostly a cold rain, maybe some wet snow mixed in as you go north and west of Philadelphia, north and west of New York City to about Boston, where somebody might wind up with a couple of wet inches, especially in elevated areas, and then that moves away, followed by some colder air for later next weekend. A weak wave early next week will die out to our south, and then we might get a push of colder air, something a little more significant toward the middle part of next week. But overall, in terms of the weather pattern that we have, it is not conducive to winter storms in the eastern part of the United States anytime for at least the next 10 days. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware. 631-756-1125 is the phone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. So tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show is at 7:35 Eastern Time. We do hope to see you then.